Namaste. I am Dr. Anchal from Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University from the Faculty of Physiotherapy and Diagnostics. The topic that we are going to learn today is Duchenne muscle dystrophy. In the topic muscle dystrophies. So, what is DMD? The disease was first described by Neapolitan physician in 1834. DMD is named after a French neurologist, Ghislain Benjamin Duchenne. In 1861 publication, Duchenne established the diagnostic criteria that are still used. Muscular dystrophies are a group of genetic determined progressive diseases of skeletal muscle. They are non-inflammatory and have no neurological cause. DMD is one of the most common muscle dystrophies affecting 1 in 3500 males worldwide. Seen in males only except in females with Turner's syndrome. DMD is inherited in a X-linked recessive pattern, that it is a genetic disorder. Usually females will typically be carriers for the disease while males will be affected. The son of a carrier mother has a 50% chance of inheriting the defective gene from his mother. The daughter of a carrier mother has a 50% chance of being the carrier or having two normal copies of the gene. The disorder is caused by mutation in the dystrophin gene, a larger gene located in human X chromosome which codes the protein dystrophin. Without dystrophin, muscles are susceptible to mechanical injury and undergo repeated cycles of necrosis and regeneration. Ultimately, regenerative capabilities are exhausted or inactivated. Dystrophin is responsible for connecting the cycloskeleton of each muscle fiber to the underlying basal lamina. The absence of dystrophin permits excess calcium to penetrate the sarcolemma, leading to mitochondrial dysfunction, which ultimately leads to losing the capability of regeneration. Now, the clinical features and diagnosis. Stage 1 is pre-symptomatic, that is, the creatine kinase usually is elevated. There's a positive family history. This is between the age of 2 to 6 years. Stage 2 is early ambulatory, in which the patient presents with clumsy and waddling gait, manifesting in children aged 2 to 6 years, secondary to hip girdle muscle weakness. Inexorable progressive weakness in the proximal musculature, initially in the lower extremities but later involving the neck flexors, shoulders, and arms. Marion's sign. Child slips through examiner's grasp when lifted under the arm. That is, whenever the examiner tries to lift the child, he slips down. Possible toe walking, but can still climb stairs. Goverstein is present. It is a particular diagnostic sign which is present, which is called climbing up legs. That is usually using the hands while rising up from the floors. Hands are used to support oneself while getting up. That is called Goverstein. Stage 3 is late ambulatory. That is, it is more difficult in walking. The patient faces issues while walking. Ambulatory ambulation is decreased. Around the age 8 years, most patients notice that difficulty with ascending stairs and respiratory muscles strength begins a slow but steady decline. Cannot arise from the floor. That is, the patient becomes total dependent, is not able to ambulate himself on his own. The forced vital capacity begins to gradually wane, leading to symptoms of nocturnal hypoxemia such as lethargy and early morning headaches. Stage 4 is early non ambulatory. As the name suggests, the patient is non ambulatory, can self propel for some time, but isn't able to gather energy to sustain, able to maintain posture, possible development of scoliosis, that is, the spine starts deviating towards one side. The fifth stage is late non ambulatory. Scoliosis may progress, especially when more wheelchair dependent. So, when the patient is more dependent, the spine muscles lose their strength, and scoliosis develops even more. If wheelchair bound and profound weak, patients develop terminal respiratory or cardiac failure. Slowly, the lungs keep giving away and result into respiratory failure or cardiac failure. Poor nutrition intake is there and can also be a serious complication in individuals with severe end-range DMD. Slowly, contractures may begin to form. What is the prognosis of DMD? Most are unable to ambulate independently by the age of 10. So it is a very serious disease which leads to ambulation. It is progressive in nature, and it is very difficult to stop the progress in this disease. Most are wheelchair dependent by the age of 15, and most sadly die of cardiorespiratory problems by the age of 25 or 30. Treatment: there is no cure yet for DMD. However, case in symptomatic management such as physical therapy, positioning aids such as orthosis are used to help the child to sit, lie, stand. Braces and splints are used to prevent deformities such as contractures, promote support, or promote protection. Medications are there, symptomatic. Nutritional counseling and psychological counseling is currently done. What is the conclusion? Conclusively, there are many clinical trials in place, such as drugs like administrating beta adrenergic receptors, agonist drug that increase the strength and muscular mass. So this was a brief about DMD. About the physical management, it is a basic again management in which we try to keep the patient mobile and independent as much as possible. The primary goal is to prevent any contractures. For that, we do we do positioning, passive movements, use of splints, orthosis, and to make the patient comfortable and independent as much as possible. So this was a brief about DMD. I hope it's clear. In case of any doubt, drop in a comment and we'll solve it in the problem solving session. Thank you so much.